Shalom. Hi. Welcome to Torah Talks. My name is Rabbi Gamliel, coming to you from Pardes Chana from the beautiful land of Israel. If you like the content, please give us a thumbs up and a like, and subscribe. In today's episode of Torah Talks, we will be discussing the shemitah. The shemitah, or the sabbatical year, or the year remission, has basically two aspects. One is agricultural, in which the land is to rest. There's to be no plowing, no tilling, and no reaping or harvesting. The wild growth is to be left for the orphans, widows, and the less fortunate. However, the other aspect of the remission has to do with debt. Imagine, if you would, receiving an official notification that all your debt had been canceled and wiped out. Well, in the parasha of the and Devarim, Deuteronomy chapter 15, verse 2, the idea of the remission year is that every creditor shall remit any debt owed by his neighbor and brother when Hashem's remission year comes around. The Torah recognizes that debt can be a burden on individuals, families, and even communities. In ancient times, like modern times, people often became indebted due to various circumstances, such as poverty, loss of livelihood, or unforeseen misfortune. Recognizing the potential harm caused by perpetual indebtedness, the Torah provides guidelines to foster a more compassionate and just society. In this parasha, Moshe is explaining to the Israelites the practice of debt forgiveness, known as the shemitah. As I said, it is also referred to sometimes as the sabbatical year or year of remission. Every 7 years, all debts among the Israelites were to be canceled, and those who were indebted were given a fresh start. Canceling any debt they may have made to a fellow Israelite could provide a kind of financial rest and a resetting of economic relationships. The principle of debt forgiveness demonstrates the Torah's concern for social justice, righteousness, and the well-being of the community. The Torah never intended for there to be a caste system with or among the Israelites. The Shemitah highlights the divine intention for a society that transcends the constraints of financial burdens. It demonstrates the belief that our material possessions are ultimately gifts from Hashem, and therefore we are responsible for sharing those blessings with others. We are reminded that wealth and material possessions are not the ultimate measure of a person's worth. The Torah encourages us to prioritize compassion, empathy, and the alleviation of human suffering over economic gain. By forgiving and releasing others from their financial obligations, we acknowledge the inherent dignity and worth of every individual, regardless of their economic status. Furthermore, debt forgiveness promotes a sense of unity and solidarity within the community. It prevents the stratification of society into permanent classes of creditors and debtors, ensuring that no individual or group becomes trapped in a cycle of perpetual poverty. It fosters a society built on mutual support and collective responsibility where everyone has an opportunity to thrive and contribute. The underlying principles of the year remission or shemitah remain relevant to us. Debt forgiveness challenges us to reflect on our attitudes towards money, wealth, and our interactions with others. It calls on us to examine our lives and consider how we extend kindness and generosity to those burdened by debt or financial hardship. In contemporary contexts, debt forgiveness can manifest in many ways. It may involve supporting organizations that provide microloans or financial aid to those in need. It might mean advocating for fair lending practices and working towards systemic changes that address the root causes of debt. The emphasis on social justice, compassion, equality, and communal solidarity can guide policymakers, lenders, and individuals in creating fair and ethical systems of debt management. They can implement measures that prioritize debt relief and teach financial empowerment to help alleviate the burden of financial indebtedness and foster a more just and equitable society. And on an individual level, it could involve offering practical assistance, guidance, or support to those struggling with financial obligations. However, a deeper spiritual meaning lies within the concept of debt forgiveness. Just as we are instructed to release financial obligations, we are also called to release emotional debts and grudges. The act of forgiving others and letting go of past grievances has transformative power on a personal and communal level. It frees us from the weight of resentment and allows us to cultivate a spirit of compassion, understanding, and unity. In forgiving and releasing debt, we embrace the divine attribute of mercy and recognize that we are all interconnected. We acknowledge that we are all fallen short and made mistakes, and we extend grace to others as we hope to receive it ourselves. By doing so, we create a society that values forgiveness and fosters healings, promoting a culture of love, empathy, and reconciliation. From the Torah's perspective, the release of debt is not merely a legal provision, but a reflection of profound moral and ethical values. The principles of social justice, compassion, equality, and communal solidarity embedded in the release of debt encourage individuals and communities to strive for a more equitable and compassionate society. By understanding and embracing these teachings, we can work towards creating systems that prioritize the well-being and dignity of all individuals, fostering a healthier and a more just society for generations to come. Thank you. If you love the content, if you like the content, please give us a thumbs up and subscribe. See you next time on Torah Talks. Bye.